Ladies and gentlemen, it's Preston here, aka Godzilla Hawk, and as you can tell, I'm turned off my camera for this one. I've been wanting to turn off my camera at least for Q and A's from now on. Like for example, just in case if I'm eating something or if I got something to do, no one will bug you or anything like that, or anything in particular. You know what I mean? So like you won't tell if anybody runs in by accident or if I have to go anywhere. You're not just looking at empty room your entire time and all this. Um, this is a new kind of a Q&A I'm doing. Honestly, I did not do one last week. I do apologize. I was just tired, honestly. I didn't have the energy to kind of do a Q&A. So to kind of make up, I'm going to do one a little early. Yeah, because usually I do them later, usually until NXT is usually done. I decided to do that on Wednesdays, but I'm deciding to do one today for just a special occasion, right before SmackDown. Obviously, SmackDown doesn't start at my time until 8, but I live stream it so I can watch it early. And the fact that SmackDown now is going to be the road to Money in the Bank, I'm really looking forward to SmackDown. Everybody, of course, has their own opinion about the whole Jinder Mahal thing. And if you have any questions about that, I can answer honestly. But I'm going to be here, and I'll hopefully be here maybe at least an hour, maybe less, just until SmackDown comes. I might have to, if I do leave the room, it's probably because I need to use the restroom or I have to do something very quick. But it should, hopefully, there won't be any setbacks. So if you have any questions, just ask away in the chat room, and I will try and answer all the questions as possible. I guess we'll start with the first one right here. Excuse me. First one on here. Neil Spazay is a good fan of mine. Good to see you again. Thoughts on the he Elias Samson gone Raw? It was funny because he was actually getting mild cheered until he started playing the Dark Country. I'm kind of not surprised. If you watched NXT, especially live shows, he got major heat every time he would sing one of his songs. And I think it's kind of one of the more original gimmicks. He's actually getting heat by playing music, and not just any music, it's a dark country, which personally I do love dark country. I think it's better than regular country. And if you want, it kind of reminds me kind of like a Johnny Cash or something that Undertaker would kind of listen to. Which in reality, I think Mark Calloway actually listens to country and dark country like that. So if I'm not mistaken, it could be wrong about that. But I think that's a pretty cool start. The fact he's supposed to be heel and he's getting heel heat, I think is awesome. Like I said, I do want to see more Elias Samson because I don't think I got enough on NXT. But we'll see what happens there. I really hope Elias Samson gets a push, and I have a bold prediction that Samson will beat Ambrose for the Intercontinental Championship. And I'm going to say that's going to be a great balls of fire. You heard me that right. I think Ambrose will beat The Miz, and then Samson will get involved in the title picture. At Balls of Fire, Samson will become champion because Ambrose is kind of getting a little boring as a champion. So why not kind of fresh it up a little bit like SmackDown did with Jinder Mahal? Was NXT TakeOver Chicago better than Dallas? Let me think about this. Let's see. Chicago. You had the Revival versus American Alpha, which was good, but there were some botches. You had, I believe, Baron Corbin and Austin Aries, which was not the best match. Yeah, Asuka versus Bayley, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, Asuka versus Bayley, which was a good match, but not great. Let's see here. I know we had, Sami Zayn Nakamura, hands down match of the year. Hands down. A lot of people say the 2 out of 3 falls match between Revival and DIY. at Toronto, and that was an amazing match. But I still slightly prefer Nakamura and Sami Zayn. That was a match that made me become a fan of wrestling again. Period, and why I loved it. The other one made me a fan of tag team wrestling, so it was very, very close. And Finn Balor, Samoa Joe was okay, but the problem was they kept on stopping the match due to Joe bleeding, and it ruined the entire thing. But then in Chicago, you had Pete Dunne versus Tyreek, which was an amazing match. You had DIY versus Authors of Pain, which was another great match. You had a ladder match. You had Dale Tony by Reed, which was actually a very solid match. You had the Triple Threat Women's match, which was just okay, nothing really great. And then you had Strong and Eric Young, which was a very good opener. So yeah, they both had their. That is actually a very tough one. I would probably just say maybe Chicago, just due to the fact that although Dallas was a really good show, I think Chicago kind of made me a fan of like a big fan of NXT again because I'm still a fan of NXT, but I wasn't like as a hardcore NXT fan as I used to be. But Chicago kind of brought me back as a full-time NXT fan. I'm now looking forward to the future of NXT. Do you have or play Injustice 2? No, I'm not really a DC person anyway, so I probably won't play it. My love for wrestling is not so much at this point. I just wasn't hooked on how it is now. I need a break. No, I guess it depends on the wrestling. Of course, WWE is honestly a mixed bag at this point. I understand Raw's just been ugh. But SmackDown actually has intrigued me now with Jinder Mahal winning. I'm more interested on SmackDown, but Raw really just hasn't changed. Impact Wrestling, it's just crap. Lucha Underground's coming back, I believe, next week. That'll get you back into wrestling. Lucha Underground's amazing. NXT is now starting to get back in the ring. So New Japan's starting the G1 Climax, and it's actually going to be on the USA in the US on Long Beach, the coming United States, and I think they're going to be on XS TV Live, which is going to be great. I get to hopefully check that out and see how the G1 does. Ring of Honor is good, but not great. It's just there at that point. PWG I heard is good. I'm going to try to go to APW show again this Friday. So I mean, wrestling. If you're not into that wrestling, I can't blame you. A lot of people are kind of the same way. It just, I guess, depends on the mindset you have and what you like. But even again, if you don't listen to WWE, there's plenty of other stuff out there. So if you aren't getting hooked up into it, that's fine. But just at least wait until Lucha Underground comes back, because trust me, Lucha Underground is going to kick ass. Thoughts on NXT fans or fans chain too sweet? I think honestly, it doesn't bother me. I know sometimes people get bothered by it. Honestly, you have to do it, especially with Bullet Club members. I mean, it just makes the most sense. Me, it doesn't bother me. In fact, I was actually guilty of doing that at a few shows. So I did that payback a few times. So I'm kind of guilty on that. But honestly, it doesn't bother me as much. In fact, I find CM Punk chants more annoying than anything. The too sweet thing, I'm totally fine with. At least for now, I should say. At least for now, just for now. But eventually it might get a little noise. So just to kind of stay safe, I think honestly they should just do it only when former club members are in a match. So that way it's not completely overdone. I hate to watch NXT take over Chicago. But I don't feel good say when I watch your WWE, don't know what it is. And that's a very interesting remark. So you didn't really care for Chicago, not because you hated Dave was a bad show, but just you couldn't get into it. I don't know what to tell you, man. I mean, I'm not new, so I don't know what's going on, but I don't know. Maybe it's just the Raws. Maybe it's just Too much wrestling? I don't know. I can't really help you there. So I'm sorry if you honestly feel that way. Which Marvel movie are you most looking forward to? Marvel. I'm assuming you're looking forward to not just this year, but in the future. Probably Marvel Infinity Wars, parts 1 and 2. I'm really looking forward to see what they do with that. I'll see Deadpool 2. I'm really looking forward to that. The Spider-Man Homecoming, I'm really hoping it's a good one because there hasn't been a great Spider-Man movie yet. And I think with Marvel Studios now owning the rights to Spider-Man, I think there's that chance we might get that good Spider-Man movie. Thor Ragnarok actually looks like it could actually be the best Thor movie out of the bunch because let's be honest, the Thor movies weren't the best, but I think this one might actually be that one good Thor movie. So we'll just see what happens. Even Black Panther, I'm actually very interested in seeing. So between them, I'm gonna say Infinity Wars and Deadpool 2. What show do you prefer, Two and a Half Men or Friends? None. I don't really care for either of them. All right, guys. I know there's more people watching this. Come on, guys. Let's get some more questions. Let's get some other people involved. I like some other people to kind of ask some questions. I know there's more people watching. All you have to do is just comment in the chat and just ask a question. Ask away. I just don't want to answer one person's questions the entire time. Come on, let's get some more people on here. I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to I'm going to actually sit here for a few minutes until maybe some more people start asking some more questions. So I'm just going to wait a little bit and just wait for you guys to kind of give me some more questions to ask. All right, let's see here. Thoughts on the kid a kill list and tribute to Jericho list. I prefer not to talk about that. That's a little more personal. Honestly, that's kind of the past. So, but I just think it's stupid. Jax, yay! Jax is back. Sub President, did you know that Christian Miracle's main channel is back? Yes, I did hear. Christian Miracle must be extremely happy about that. It was brought back on Friday, which I was happy as hell. Absolutely, good for him. I'm glad his channel's back. Get some good stuff in his life, which is great. Seems a dickhead due to his track record with the like Kennedy, Oxford, JTG, Red, etc. Okay, I don't know where that came from, but okay. What are your thoughts on DIY breaking up? Honestly, I think it was a little too soon. I mean, I knew it was going to happen some point. Personally, I think they should have stuck as a tag team a little bit longer, especially on the main roster. Then sometime, maybe after the tag team, at least a few years while they're on the main roster, and it gets some more tag teams to kind of fill in those spots on both Raw and SmackDown. Then, if you want, you could eventually break them up. But I think they're a great tag team. I think they could have gone a long way on the main roster. But that's just my personal opinion. But who knows? I think this could be now I'm really interested in the feud that they're doing now. Honestly, they're going to probably fight the next Takeover, which I think will be Takeover Brooklyn 3. In other words, NXT's version of WrestleMania, which I'm looking forward to. If you want my honest opinion, I think they might as well just do a very first in NXT history. Why not do it in Hell in a Cell? Why not do a Hell in a Cell between Ciampa and Gargano on NXT Brooklyn 3? I think that would be just great. Speaking of Christian Miracle, do you watch his WWE Saints? Yes, I do. Do watch them. Sometimes I don't agree with everything, but he still entertains me, and he's like a pretty decent guy. So, yeah, in that show, yeah, I do watch his videos. How did Christian become your favorite wrestler? I don't know what it was. I just looked at him. He kind of resembled myself, someone who wasn't the biggest guy, but he kind of had that little bit of muscle to him, but kind of always overlooked and kind of not used correctly, and feel like an underdog. And I always felt more sorry for Christian than Edge. Again, I never hated Edge. Edge was always one of my favorites, but I always felt more bad for Christian because the guy I think was just as talented as Edge. And unfortunately, Vince never saw that, so I kind of felt bad for him. And plus, he is a great performer. He's not bad on the mic. He's had some very underrated matches. I mean, say what you want about the Orton feud and how it went. I still think Orton buried him, but he did pull some good matches with him and Orton. He's had some good matches with Bryan. Some good matches with Del Rio. He has some good matches, and I just felt like he deserved better. Worst WWE pay-per-view theme song? Pretty much anything with Flo Rida. Pretty much anything. I would say anything pretty much with Flo Rida on it. It doesn't matter which one, all of them. Name an overrated and underrated wrestling referee in your book. Oh, whew. Underrated, overrated. Uh, ooh. Ooh, man, that's a thing. You're kind of putting me in a spot there. An overrated or an underrated rivalry. That is tough. I can name my favorite rivalries or feuds, but I can't think of a rivalry that was overrated. Yeah, what was a rivalry that was overrated? You know what? Actually, probably Cena Orton. Um, I never got into that. I mean, when he first did, it was cool, but then after 2009, and they still continued it, I was just like, I'm done. Like, honestly, Cena Orton matches got to a point where I'm just sick of seeing them. An underrated feud rivalry, I would say, an underrated one. What was an underrated rivalry? Underrated rivalry. Man, this is hard. I would maybe say Punk and Bryan because they had some good stuff with AJ Lee and they had some really great matches. Um, I can't really think of any really. I had to really think about that one. Absolute worst WWE pay-per-view name of all time. It just recently came out. Great Balls of Fire. How you cannot be that stupid to come up with a name like that? How stupid can you be? Mine is Wind Up by the Cat Dealer in SummerSlam 2007. Interesting. Jeff versus Punk was underrated, but I hated the outcome. It worked for Punk as a heel. Honestly, I was fine with the outcome because I was never the biggest Jeff Hardy fan to begin with. And Punk I actually did like, but again, I never watched Jeff Hardy Punk during the rivalry during this, so I had to kind of rewatch it growing up later. But yeah, I would be on Punk's side. Just I'm not the biggest Hardy fan, but you know what? I understand a lot of people love Jeff Hardy, and that's fine. I heard the news that the president of Impact claims that WWE has no interest in the Broken Heart. Yeah, I kind of didn't want to talk about that, but honestly, yeah, if that's the case, WWE is the dumbest people are the dumbest people on the planet because if they're seriously not interested, the broken gimmick would get people to want to tune in to Raw or SmackDown or wherever they go. He's Stephen Maggle. I don't. I'm assuming he must be heel Stephen Hater. Sorry, that was my phone. Can you say hashtag tweet along with Spaz? Okay. Are you a fan of Sami Zayn? Yeah, he's actually one of my favorites currently, and I know a lot of people are already scratching their heads and everything, thinking, "Why are you such a fan of him?" I immediately became a fan when I saw him in NXT. He's a great worker. He's actually not that bad on the mic. I'm not saying he's no Kevin Owens or CM Punk on the mic, but he can have some good mic work. Especially again, go back to NXT. That's when he was best at it. Look at his match with what you call Nakamura and Kevin. Tyler Breeze was a very underrated match in my opinion that you guys should definitely check out. That was a great match back at NXT. Same thing. He can have some good matches here. He's had some good ones what was it? Seth Rollins and of course AJ Styles and of course Kevin Owens. It's just how they book him now. So obviously, right now on SmackDown, they're actually booking him the way I want to, and that's weird for me to say because you can say, well, besides the pay-per-view, um, Backlash, he's lost every match. It's like, well, that's kind of the point. His character should be like Bayley. It's an underdog gimmick. It's more of a struggle. He's supposed to struggle. That's his gimmick. He's a guy that you don't expect to win. He's a guy that you don't expect to be a champion and comes so close, but he can just barely taste victory, and he can't get the job done. And he finally got his first victory on SmackDown Bearcore, which was a big upset in a lot of people's eyes because he didn't begin with like a roll up or anything. He got with a hula kick. So it's a good thing he got a victory now. So that's what you kind of need to do, same thing. It's okay to give him a lot of losses, but if it builds up to something, for example, like the next Daniel Bryan or how they put him on NXT, so when he finally does win the big one, then we get behind him more. That's how I honestly see it. And I'm still a Sami Zayn fan. I'll always be a Zayn fan. A lot of people don't like Sami Zayn, and that's fine with you. You can like or dislike whoever you want, but at least respect my opinion, and I'm just a big Sami Zayn mark. He'll always be one of my favorites, at least currently. What do you think? Who do you think is going to win Money in the Bank match here? Oh, Corbin, Baron Corbin. It's not even a question. With Rusev going in possibly for the championship instead of the Money in the Bank, I don't think Sami Zayn is going to win it yet. Let's see, Luke Harper will most likely be in it. That'll be kind of a good swerve for SmackDown to have given to Luke Harper. I think that would be I'd be totally fine with that. Yeah, but just honestly, so far the only guy that makes sense is Baron Corbin. He's been built. He's been gaining a lot of momentum. He's been in a lot of main events recently and title matches. Although he hasn't won them, he's been
testing ground, so to speak, and he's been doing great in the matches. He's definitely improved on them in the ring and on the mic. So honestly, I think he should win Money in the Bank and then give him like a Seth Rollins run with the briefcase and just keep testing waters with him. And then when the time is right, cash in and you can push him as like the Braun Strowman of SmackDown, except with bare mic skills, and you can make him a dominant, main event player. And honestly, it could work. So I'm gonna go with Baron Corbin, and I would not complain if Corbin won. Do you know Zayn books himself in his own matches? I don't know. I can't really tell you for sure. Checks. Did Adam Cole make an appearance on NXT TakeOver Chicago? Unfortunately, no. That was one of the few times that a lot of fans were expecting, and we did get. However, you may never know when Adam Cole will show up. And when he does, I'm going to be going nuts for Adam Cole. I cannot wait. The fact that the guy's 27 years old still, he's still young. I cannot wait for Adam Cole to come. Whenever he decides to come to WWE, I cannot wait. I'll be looking forward to it. And let me tell you, he's going to put on some great matches in WWE. Are the tangents annoying? To a certain degree, I can understand like guys like Christian Miracle getting annoyed like when it comes to like the ref counting. Like, yeah, I can understand. The ref's trying to do his job and it's kind of distracting. I'm not gonna lie, it's distracted me quite a bit of times. So I don't blame Christian Miracle for getting annoyed because I admit I do get annoyed at times. I'll say more annoying when it comes to the ref counting 10. But if they're just doing it to have fun, then they could do it to have fun. But if they're gonna do it for the refs counting to 10 for like a counter or something, then that could get a little annoying at times. I'm not gonna lie about that. So in kind of a sense, it kind of does get annoying. It just depends. Other wrestlers like Jericho and Owens have said any books himself. Well, if that's the case, then that's very interesting because usually WWE is very lenient on that, and they usually don't allow wrestlers to kind of do what they want. They usually write script or piece of paper and go, okay, this is what you're going to do. This is what you're going to say. Here's the story we're going to put you in. So if that's the case, then that's very interesting. I mean, on Raw, I just don't see it on Raw, but on SmackDown I would see it because I honestly, the creative team on SmackDown, they seem a lot more lenient and they seem a lot more open-minded, unlike the guys on Raw. Because the guys on Raw, they don't give a shit. You can tell everything's all the pros sound robotic. On SmackDown, everyone seems like they're having fun. They're more fluent. Even talking smack is a lot of fun to watch and listen to. So yeah, I find it very interesting. Let's see. Thousand NXT fans, Section 2020 changing their own name during Aleister Black's debut match. I don't remember. I honestly I didn't remember that, but if that's the case, then yeah, that's kind of ignorant. Will we ever see a match between AJ Styles and Seth Rollins? I think one day we will. It's just a matter of when we see it. We may not see it now or anytime soon, but I think WWE would be stupid not to do that match. And I'm not kidding you. That could be a match of the year candidate right there. They would, I think, steal the show. So again, I think not anytime soon, but I think eventually WWE will have to do it. I mean, it'd be the same thing AJ Styles and Nakamura. I mean, they would have to do the match. You could not ignore the match. You just cannot. It's eventually going to happen. May not be tonight, may not be tomorrow, may not be next month, it might not be next year, but eventually we're going to get it. When will the next live reactions be? I'm gonna try to shoot for Money in the Bank because the Backlash ones was kind of more of a surprise. I wasn't planning on it, but after getting a bunch of people over and it just happened, I was like, ah, screw it, we're just gonna have live reactions. But I'm gonna definitely try to get Money in the Bank live reactions. So we'll see what happens. But I'm gonna try to shoot for Money in the Bank live reactions. Did they make a mistake taking away Aleister Black's mask? I didn't even know he had a mask. I mean, I'm not the biggest Aleister Black mark or anything. I don't watch all of his matches. I had no idea he even had a mask. So, what happened to your buddy Jose? I mean, we still talk, but honestly, I can tell he's not into wrestling anymore. And to be honest, I don't really invite him anymore just due to the fact I know he's not interested. And plus, you're there to kind of watch the event. If you're not having fun, if you're too busy talking about cards or on your phone and you're not interested, then if you're not interested, here's my phone. If you're not interested in the event, I'd rather you tell me, say, hey, look, I'm sorry, lie to me, say, hey, look, I'm busy. I got things to do. Or just say, hey, y'all, I'm not interested. That's fine. But if you're going to come over and watch the event, I expect you to watch the event. Don't be texting. Don't be talking about cards or anything like that. I find that very disrespectful. And I'm not saying Jose's a bad person or anything, but it's just I can tell he's not really a fan of wrestling anymore. And you know what? That's just fine. That's fine with Jose. I'm not saying it has to be. He can do his own thing, and he has his own life, and he seems to be doing good. So that's just kind of the break of it. Who do you think is the best stable faction ever in pro wrestling? Bullet Club. I would say Bullet Club. Not just because they're the best in my opinion, but they're my favorite. I think their theme song's awesome. I think their logo's awesome. I like the new variety of different performers in there. And they're definitely the main reason why I watch New Japan. Now, I'm not saying New Japan isn't a good I say promotion. I mean, they have some good talent, but it's mainly the Bullet Club are the reason why I tune in, because I'm just such that big of a fan of Bullet Club. Again, that's me personally. A lot of people would say like the Four Horsemen or Evolution or DX or NWO. But me personally, I would just go with the one I can just name on top of my head, and that's Bullet Club. Is Kenny Omega over or underrated? I wouldn't say he's overrated. I would not say he's underrated either, and I wouldn't say he's overrated. Underrated would be guys like Christian, William Regal, Carl Anderson. Overrated would be guys like Cena, Roman Reigns, Randy Orton. And he does fit in that category. He's one of those guys right now that's not overrated, but he's not underrated. I think you know what I mean. He's very neutral. And of course, I'm a big fan of Omega, so I think that kind of hopefully answers your question there. If you want a more thorough answer, it's just neutral. I don't think he's underrated, and I don't think he's overrated. However, I do still say he should definitely win the IWGP Heavyweight title at the G1 Climax. I'm going to be rooting for Omega all the way. I'm just getting a little tired of Okada already, and I just want something different. I think honestly Omega deserves the heavyweight title before he leaves New Japan. because he's already put on some incredible matches. Of course, his match with Okada recently. So. Join Gooby Goes Live, make peace. Okay, seriously, Gooby and I already talked and we already had a discussion. Gooby and I just we're never gonna get along. I get he wants to try to make peace, but I told him that I'm not interested in his videos. I kind of just want to move on with my life. All right, I just kind of want to move on, do my own thing. He does his own thing. I don't want anything to do with, like, for example, like guys like the Smart Busters or Gooby or even what's his name with with Will, like Will's Entertainment. I don't want anything to do with those guys. I kind of just want to move on and do my own thing. Who's better, Reindeer or Jara? I can never pronounce that, but obviously you're talking about Jinder Mahal. That's really a question. Let's see here. Well, I think you could tell from my live reactions who. I think you could tell from our live reactions. Hashtag never hinder gender. Yes, absolutely. Jacob gets it. Hell yeah, I can't wait for SmackDown tonight. Buy or sell WrestleMania 20 or WrestleMania 30? Oh, easy. Well, I already have WrestleMania 20 on DVD, so clearly I bought it. And I don't have WrestleMania 30 yet, although I could have easily gotten it a few times. WrestleMania 30, for radio shows, because if you look at the whole card, it wasn't that great. I mean, you had some really good matches, like John Cena Bray Wyatt was a good match, but the problem was the John Cena winning was stupid. Triple H and Bryan was another good match. The Triple Threat main event was good, but Brock and Taker, I wasn't just mad because Taker lost, but the match was shit. The Battle Royal was kind of ruined because of what happened later down the line. It just meant nothing. Yeah, 2-minute squash fest. You got a random women's match in there. It was just, besides only a couple matches, it didn't really feel like WrestleMania. Honestly, to me, I wouldn't say WrestleMania 3 was one of the worst. It's definitely not the worst, but it's definitely one of the weaker ones. That's me personally. What's worse, the Brawl for All or Kill from Hell? I don't know, honestly. They're both. Oh my god. I would probably say the Brawl for All because at least with the Count from Hell, it was only one match with the Brawl for All. It was a entire tournament. They were trying to pretty much do another sport. With the Count from Hell, it's just another dumb gimmick match. With the Brawl for All, they were trying to be a boxing tournament. They were trying to be something they were not, and it failed miserably. And it lasted, I think, for weeks. Like I said, for Count for Hell, it only lasted for one night. So. And again, John Gooby, look, honestly, I'm going to get to a point where I'm going to start getting a little angry. We've already talked. I get you do listen to your fans. I understand, but I've just said this before. I'm not going to say it again. I'm really going to start getting annoyed. We already talked about this. I hope we had understanding. I really do want to move on. You have your audience. I have mine. I just kind of want. I understand you want to move on too. You want to kind of make peace. I kind of just want to move on, just focus on my own life. Back in the day, we've had some beef, and I had beef with a lot of other people, and I was very pissed off. I was very depressed, and I kind of don't want to go back in that route. So the best situation is to just focus on my own channel, kind of do what I want to do, kind of do what I like to do, and just be happy. Right now I'm possibly getting a new job. I'm doing fine on YouTube. I'm trying to enjoy SmackDown, which is great. Lucha Underground's coming back, which I'm looking forward to. I got my own. I'm working at our own wrestling promotion right now as a commentator and creative writer. So I work in the wrestling industry now. So it's right now I'm I'm very happy with my life right now, and I just kind of don't want to focus on the past. I definitely do want to move on, but again, I respect you making this commitment to try to keep your own show. It's just honestly, it's just so many things have happened that I kind of it's just difficult. I don't want to sound like a douchebag. It's just I've kind of lost. I've been losing some trust in some people recently, and it's not really the best state of mind right now. Again, I know your audience probably really does want me, whether that's true or not. It doesn't matter. I'm just really want to move on. Again, Gooby, not gonna treat you like shit or anything, but it's just I really just kind of honestly I really I don't I'm trying not to be a dick and I don't want to be. I'm because right now I'm really happy with my life right now. I'm happier than I've been in a long time. Besides, sometimes WWE, but it's just I kind of just want to move on. Just kind of want to focus on my own life. But if you want my honest opinion, right as of right now, you're 1,000 times better than freaking Will's World Entertainment. If that makes you feel better, I would say at least right now you're making a commitment to be good and try to make amends, unlike Will's World Entertainment. Uh, Honestly, there's the Random Brothers. Yeah, hi. What's up, Mr. Hawk? Hey, how you doing? Do you think Brock Lesnar's Universal Champion in 2014-15 is all over again, not being defended the title? Yeah, pretty much. The Universal title's crap. The reign is garbage. I'm so sick of these part timers. And the rumor is he's going to hold on to that belt all the way to next year's Mania. So, in other words, a full year without a Raw World Champion throughout most of the time is ugly. It's just absurd. That is just disturbing. I fucking ugh. Yeah. It's what Brock Lesnar's so bad right now. I hope he honestly retires. I'm not saying he gets injured or anything. I just pray he just retires. He leaves. It's gotten to the point now. I'm legit done with Lesnar, and I'm legit done with part timers in general. It's gone to the point where the fact that you need guys like Brock Lesnar to make your show better is stupid. Yeah, I'm so sick of guys like Lesnar because you can tell he doesn't give a shit about the business. He just wants the paycheck and that's it. And all these guys bust their ass and they don't get anything in return. They get treated like shit. I'm so done with it. Yo, Gooby, uh, Gooby, okay, I already saw that. Pick your poison. Hogan versus Warrior 2, JR versus Michael Mania, or Sam versus Lauren Eyes at Overlord. Well, honestly, I never saw Hogan versus Ultimate Warrior 2, so I would say that's the only match I haven't seen. So I mean, I guess I would pick that just due to the fact I've never seen that match yet. Okay, so let's see here. Okay, let's see. Thoughts on women's story? Oh, I'm very excited. I'm very curious to see what they do with that. Obviously, they're going to get all different types of talent all over the world. I'm really looking forward. And it doesn't matter if it's any type of tournament. I'm really curious about. I mean, the Cruiserweight Classic was amazing. The UK tournament was very good. The women's tournament, I'm really definitely looking forward to. I think this could definitely help the women's division, either Raw, SmackDown, and NXT, because that's kind of one of the things we're lacking right now. So that looks. I'm very looking forward to that. Are you excited for Marvel vs. Capcom Infinity? Probably not. I'm not as excited, but I am definitely very curious to see what they do. And who knows, I might get the game. Buy or sell current angle WWE or current angle TNA? Oh, buy current angle WWE and sell current angle TNA. That's not a question. So let's see. How long have I been doing this now? Wow, time went by quick. So I'm thinking I'll stay on here for at least another 10 minutes, and then I'm gonna go ahead and just sign off and get ready for SmackDown. So that's what I'm really looking forward to. Who is the worst commentator? Oh, probably as of right now, currently, probably David Otunga. He is annoying. He's definitely annoying. What was your favorite year in TNA? Oh, favorite year in TNA. Well, I've only watched TNA from 2017 all the way to say maybe mid 2016. So I can't really judge the other years of TNA. But that's kind of a tough one. Maybe 2000, just for my watch, probably 2012. Because that's when I started getting into TNA was in 2012. And that's when I started expanding on wrestling, so it wasn't just WWE. But again, that's more just because that's when I started watching TNA. And every year it just gradually, slowly got worse and worse and worse. Again, guys, I'm going to answer some more questions. I will be on here for at least another 8 minutes. And I'm going to go ahead and watch SmackDown. Well, so I'm hanging off. It's been, well, good luck. Thank you, man. Which was the best WWE storyline rivalry in 2009? Ooh. 2009. Well, probably people will probably say Cena Orton, but I said that was one of the more overrated rivalries. Um, uh, 2009. Maybe I'm trying to think here. Maybe Punk and Jeff Hardy. Punk and Hardy. I gotta really think about that one, but I would probably just say for now, just be safe, just Punk and Hardy. Guys, again, I got about 6 minutes, and I'm gonna go ahead and end this Q&A off and get ready to watch SmackDown. I guess there's going to be some more announcements for Money in the Bank pay-per-view, so I'm really looking forward to that. A couple matches have already been announced, so we'll see what happens with that. So again, guys, here for about another 5 minutes, and then I'm going to go ahead and sign off. So if you have any other questions, please feel free to ask. Only going to probably have time to answer a few more questions, and then I'm going to end this Q&A. So just to be safe, I'll answer a couple more questions, and then I will sign off. So whatever questions you decide to ask me, I'll answer them, and then I'm going to go ahead and sign off and get ready for SmackDown. Again, I'll stay here for another couple minutes, but if you don't have any more questions soon, then I'll just end the show Q&A early. Tuesday Q&A, yeah, I know. I'm kind of making it up. I kind of making it up from last week, so guess I missed it. I mean, you can still answer if you want to ask me still a quick couple of questions. You can before I head on out. Well, then I guess I'll be hanging off then. Later, Preston. Later, man. Again, Fafu, if you want to ask me a couple of questions first before I leave, you can. I got no problem waiting here a few more minutes. I'll give you guys a minute. Hang on out. Okay, then I guess we're done then. So again, thank you guys for submitting your questions. This was not fun. I decided to do this again a little early. If anything happens tonight on SmackDown, I might even consider doing a SmackDown review. Try to do a SmackDown review tonight. And who knows? Maybe I'll get somebody to watch it. Watch it with me, and maybe even review it with me. Maybe possibly tonight. So if anything really catches my mind, I'm thinking maybe I'll talk about very briefly about SmackDown tonight. If anything really interesting happens. So we'll see what happens. But again, thank you guys for sending your questions. I'll talk to you guys later, and who knows, maybe I'll even see you guys or hear from you guys again later tonight. It'll just depend. Like I said, I did do a Backlash live reactions. You can check that out. That was the last video I just uploaded. Possible next live reactions will be Money in the Bank. Again, since I'm doing a Q&A today, I won't be doing another one this week, but you may never know. Maybe I'll change my mind. So with that being said, thank you guys for watching this video, and I will see you guys next time.